It's a 2002 Alfa See-Ya. So you look at the dash and it looks like you're driving a boardroom. It's not a Jag. It's not a Jag. Okay guys, I don't know how much to cover in this, because technically this is about RVs, this channel, but it's also about some of my journey, and at the moment it's wrought with frustration. And I'll be honest, you know, I don't think it's professional to badmouth people and organisations and stuff, but I am frustrated right now. So I have this burning desire to be on the road. It's like wanderlust, and I'm stuck here right now. I'm stuck. This RV should have been finished a long time ago. I can only do so much. I'm pretty hands-on, but this is like a cross between being a mechanic and being a DIY house person, if you know what I mean. And a lot of progress has been made in the last few months, but not enough, and I'm stuck here. Which is extremely frustrating to me. I'm really burning to be on the road. There's things I got to do financially. I got to get the kitchen sorted out, which one day I'll cover. I've got a 2-burner stove. I have ordered an instant pot, and it doubles as a air fryer too. And I need to get a microwave, and I'm getting a bigger refrigerator so I can live in this for longer without having to go shopping. So it's all planned, but not happening right now. So it is frustrating. I've got some cars to sell to free up some cash, which is in my plan, and we'll see how it goes. But that was the thing. I gave it to this place to get done. I'm not going to go into it too much. And they've become like friends, and to be fair, they're letting me stay here, free hookups and everything, while I'm in the queue, and it does get done, and then it gets pulled off because of their priorities. And I'm not going to go into this, but I've yelled at Ben. We've become kind of friends, which makes it harder. I've yelled at the guy, at the VP or whatever. I've tried persuasion, and it's easy to say just take it away and get it done somewhere else, but these guys have given me a friggin' good deal. But it's taken a while. But anyway, I know it will be done, preferably before the cold sets in. So the other thing I wanted to cover really is, if you look at RVs and RVers, there's different types, and I think that will dictate the flavour of this channel. It's become really trendy to be into van life right now. I think with the pandemic, and since the pandemic, it's become really cool and chic to live in a van. I think people lost their jobs and started questioning things, and it became like a cool thing. And I tell you what's selling the most are the sprinter based van. I think they're basically called type B RV. Okay, so what I really found out was that, in fact, the best selling RVs are still Class C's, closely followed by Class A's and then Class B's. But the Class B's, which are van-based, are the most rapidly growing since the pandemic. So they've grown crazy amount, the rate of growth. Yeah, so that's really what I found on further inspection. So that's why everyone's jumping on this bandwagon, including Winnebago and Thor and other industries. They're getting Sprinter-based vans, and Ford-based vans, and Jayco are getting
Ford F450 and 550 based units and making them into Class Cs. And that's the reason why, because it's a rapidly growing segment, because it's within the reach of the people who are either lost their work or gave up their jobs and are pursuing a more lifestyle focused life. Those are the established brands. You can see Thor Industries dominate, and that's closely followed by Forest River, Winnebago, are the Rev Group, and Gulfstream Coach. So there you have it.
These are going through the roof. So there's those people that are really into RVing. There's the minimalists who are like rejecting the system, want to live simply, and you know, they don't want the white picket fence, and they don't want the job, and they'd rather work camp. If you look at people like Wanderlust Estate, they are more like that. Nomadic Fanatic used to be, but he isn't anymore really. I don't know. He's kind of sold out. Or did I say that on camera? But yeah, and I think someone like James would be happy to live in a tent or something, you know, riding unicycle. I am none of these things. I haven't jumped on the bandwagon. I've always been strongly drawn to the road. I used to come on vacation, or holiday as we say in England, when I used to live in England to America. I'd take 5 weeks off, and I'd rent a car and just drive and drive and drive, and I'd go randomly, and I'd meet people, and I'd have a frigging good time. I really would. So there's the wanderlust, addiction to the road. Well, addiction sounds bad. Draw to the road. And I like my comforts. I mean, I like creature comforts. I did think about getting a Prevost, even though they're superbly expensive. The challenge for me is I like to be in control, and I like to work on my own stuff and understand it. And a Prevost is so complicated. This RV isn't too complicated, and it's been tailor-made, custom built to my specs and designs, which is like a dream coming to fruition finally. So yeah, there's different types. The hippie types kind of buck the system. They're the trendy chic types, the minimalists, and I'm none of those things really. I just like the road, and I like to be in a solid piece of machinery that I've bonded with and that I know, if you know, yeah. And I really hope that we get moving soon and get this thing done. To be fair, that this thing is 90% done.
Hey guys, I am at the RV place, and I thought I would give a little tour of the stick, well, not of my bus I'm afraid, but of a finished sticks and staples typical RV. Let's see if we can look. There we go. This is one I've never come across before until my little stint in Indiana, shall we say. It's a 2002 Alfa See-Ya. I'm not quite sure. Interesting choice of names. I think it was made by a company called Alfa Leisure, and it's massive. It's huge. It's been fully refurbished. It's one of the best ones here, I think. It's fully refurbished. And then this place is littered with them, especially because my bus is here, which is very different, my Greyhound-based MCI. And it's an interesting comparison. There you got the step. That step actually does come out automatically. A lot of people are impressed by such gimmicks. I'm not so much, but that is me. So you look at the dash and it looks like you're driving a boardroom. It's not a Jag. It's not a Jaguar, but you're driving the boardroom. It's based on a Freightliner platform, and I believe you get a choice of either a Cummins or a Caterpillar. My choice would be a Cummins. Cat are very tough, but Cummins are probably more efficient. The Cat bearings and everything are massive. So let's go round. The slide out, this one looks like it's falling friggin' over. And this is my thing, people are into gimmicks and all this stuff. This slide out looks like it's falling over. And, you know, the ceiling is super high, as you can see. The wood cabinetry looks like it's turn of the century, so as does that monitor / TV. It looks like it's got a propane stove or cooker, microwave. The countertops are not like Formica or something, they're not granite. And then you have this. And now we have some lights, which is pretty cool. The aircon unit is being redone. I can tell you it's the same aircon unit that was fitted to my RV, which is a duo Dometic Blizzard. There's a bedroom. Have an ensuite shower, plenty of headroom. Headroom's not a problem. I'd say even if you're 6'4" or something. Not a very nice view right now. I've seen some with TVs. Okay, this has got a TV now as well. Obviously, this flat screen was not original. Sink. Yeah, it's pretty cool, I think. But I wanted to give a taste of a Sticks and Staples RV. I don't know. Gets the job done. There are a lot of money. I mean, even these, which are not Newmars, these are a lot of money used, and a lot of money for what they are, and you get a lot of interesting features. I mean, let's take a look. Mirror control, all kinds of lights, like map lights. What this has is a ducted aircon system. Mine isn't ducted, for instance. You have the superb diesel engine. I don't particularly like the wood drawers and stuff. I mean, it looks like it's trying to be a boardroom, but it doesn't even look. I'm almost certain it's not even real wood. And I used to work for Jaguar in England, engineering, and when you come from Jag, it's just like it's worse than when the Germans try and do wood and their BMWs and Benzes. It's just guys playing out. Stick to your plastics. And then it doesn't match the wood here. And this wood is very light coloured, which was, I think, typical of the turn of the century. So it's not a bad place to be, I guess. Not my taste. And what I do intend to cover types of RVs. School buses even versus bus-based versus Sticks and Staples, as we call these, versus vans. I do intend to cover this sometime, but I do have certain reservations about Sticks and Staples. But there you have it. Not really a bad place to be. If you were to get one at a good value, this isn't a bad coach. It's massive. I would bet it's easier to drive than mine. I mean, the steering on my old bus is really, it's not that it's worn out, it's just old in terms of design. But yeah. So, and then the slide outs nearly always give problems, and this is talking to people in the industry. Nearly always. But there is no denying when you're parked, they massively increase the usable space. So, this is the outside. Jesus, I really have to get some distance. This thing is so massive. Yeah, it's cold outside. I will open this. Oh, I'd say it's cold outside now. I don't know. And the gate isn't opening. I think you can just about see. This will give you some perspective. There's one that needs some work, but they're absolutely massive. You can see the slide outs out on the outside, and it's kind of on the piss. I don't know if that goes away. I don't know if it's because it's half out. I don't even know. I don't know. It's had a lot of work done. New mirrors. It's been resprayed. I think it's the nicest looking one here. But my biggest issue, and I'll cover this one day, is what they're made of. They're not a rigid structure. They're a chassis-based structure, whereas typically MCI buses or bus-based RVs are a unibody or monocoque, much more rigid structure. Yeah, you can see it's a massive thing. So this is actually based on an F450 chassis, but rather than having the diesel engine, the 6.7 Scorpion, it's got the 7.3 Godzilla engine, I think the code name is. It's been a long time since I worked for Ford, so... I have to hold it up because it doesn't have a frigging strut. First complaint. Not much to see here. You can see the coolant tank, brake fluid, battery in the front, and then the trans fluid and washer fluid. So most of the consumables are easy to get to. The engine looks like it is definitely longitudinally mounted. There's a radiator there. It's probably going to the rear wheels. So, what do we have? We've got a standard fare for an F450. Looks a bit like the pickup truck in terms of the dashboard. We got steering controls, cruise control, volume, Bluetooth, the typical Ford style vents. Let's see if we can have a little look. And let's put the torch on. Oh, some more gimmicks. You see the Ford style vent there, round, that you have on the pickup trucks. So it's basically an F450 chassis. Engine revs to 5.5, which is pretty low for a petrol, but it's a heavy duty petrol 7.3 Godzilla engine. AC, that's it really. I don't know if these captain chairs spin round. Let's see if they do. Now it's a bit disappointing. I actually don't think these chairs spin round. So this might be a budget RV now. It's got me thinking. But anyway. This is where I hit my head. Or don't. Oh. This is the slide out. It's obviously not out, and I'm not going to push it out because we will lose the paper that they wrapped up this thing for respray. We got grey, black, fresh water and blacks generator, check. Awning light, step light, porch light, ceiling light, and I think we tried that before, but there's no power, so that's okay. We have our own light. Got some cabinets, and as is now fashion, we're going for dark wood stain rather than the light wood stain, which was in vogue in the early 2000s and mid 2000s. This looks like a, oh, actually this is a
it's not Korean, to be honest. Looks like we've got a propane stove and a microwave. But this is a Class C. This is what you're dealing with really now. Fridge, freezer, love seat, little chair there. Some of the Class C's of old that I used to be fond of, the Dodges and stuff, used to have a little bed above the seats. If you had animals and pets, they would like to hide and sleep there, which was kind of fun. What we have instead, obviously, is a TV mount in this and some storage. In the quest for more space, I'm sure people are now horrified about sleeping up here, but I always thought it was rather cool. Slide outs, because slide outs are the order of the day and everyone wants one. To hell with leaking. Looks like we've got two twins, or twin beds here. Got a Dometic AC unit. Looks like that's same as the one on my bus, the Blizzard 2, which is a nice unit. Could be a 13,500 or a 15,000. Ace. We've got a shower, toilet, more cabinet storage, and yeah, these beds without mattresses. But this is what you really get. It really isn't bad. I mean, it's not a Class A. You could full-time in it. People are living in much smaller things. It's not too bad. The stuff is not super high-end, but it's not bad. Got some faux splash tiling over there, but you could do a lot worse. I don't know how much this goes for. I'm going to look up the price in a bit. So the trim is, it's actually not leather. It's actually a cloth, but it feels a bit like leather, but it isn't. So live fast, live well, live free. Thank you.